Hello, I'm Elgato and welcome back to the video. Today I want to talk about the brand new water found in the updated Aquatic. This is obviously one of the huge changes they're making to Minecraft, and you might hear, oh, water's changed, and think, oh, look, that's a nice new texture, isn't that wonderful? But the truth is, it's so much more than just a new water color or a new water texture. It's a new water texture, and it's a new water color for pretty much every biome, with a bunch of other biome-specific, characteristics, which makes water so much more of an interesting thing. It makes it so much more of a, visually appealing thing, and I wanted to show you all of the little details about the new water versus the old water in today's video, because here is the old water found in the current Minecraft Bedrock and other versions. As you can see, it looks pretty terrible. It's just this flat blue thing, and then if we go right back to the new Minecraft water, you can just immediately see, like, yeah, that looks so much better. So today I'm doing a full comprehensive side-by-side comparison to explain why the new water is so much better. Hopefully you all do enjoy the video. You can like it if you do like it, because it helps out the channel, and let's know you do like this kind of comprehensive review. I've spent all day today just looking at the water in different biomes to get a real feel for like what changes, how it changes, and that sort of stuff, because again, in every single biome it has a little bit of a different change. So here are some of the highlights to kind of run you down through it. So let's first of all talk about the fact that it's not just, again, like the water texture that changed, although that has changed and it's kind of nice. It's not just the water color that changed, it's also the fact that your water, vision, the transparency through the water, like now, is much better during daylight hours. That will change as time gets better, worse, etc. As lighting conditions get better or worse, you can see more or less underwater. But the fact that you can see more by default is wonderful, because now you can pretty much see to the bottom of here. You can see the sea life that's in there. Look, I can see dolphins. I bet in the old version there's no dolphins. Well, I mean, obviously. But my point being is, like, it looks so much better because you can see what's in there, which is great for the new stuff. But also, once you go inside it, the fog distance has changed significantly too. So I figure let's do this one in a kind of fair side-by-side comparison. Let me, so we can switch out just now to show you both versions at the same time on screen. Again, one left, one right. As you can see, the water is pretty significant, like, difference in terms of just the color. But once we go inside it, the difference gets even more pronounced, in my opinion, because we drop into both of them at the same time. On this one, you can see, again, the new version, you can see everything, and your distance as you go into it increases more and more. The fog has a distinct color, which again will change based on your biome, based on your depth in that biome. There's so many tiny little parts of it. Whereas on this version, on the right here, we can see pretty much nothing. If we drink a water vision potion, then we'll see stuff going down here. But a water breathing, I guess it is. But if we drink a water breathing potion, we'll see more. But right now, we can see maybe the blocks just over there versus being able to see the blocks all the way to the distance there. So again, pretty fundamental difference in my opinion, even though that's just a kind of small one. And the basic, reason for this is because every single, biome is going to have a fog effect, which is based on the biome itself. Rather than just assuming that, oh yeah, water, it just, it's all dark and, misty because there's water, fog or something in there. No, every biome has its own little characteristics. And again, those characteristics change pretty significantly. So in some biomes, you see much better than in others. And I want to show you some of the best and worst examples of that. But first, let's explain a good comparison of why the water has changed so significantly, because you might think now it's like 7 types of water, but the truth is it's the exact same water. And I think a good showcase of this is to show you the extreme hills and a plains biome. So like how the grass from an extreme hill slowly blends into a plains grass, again, you can see this is distinctly a different grass to the grass up here, but it's hard to find the exact point where it shifts. Same if you go from a forest biome, as you can see, distinct grass into different grass, but it's hard to find the exact point because the biome blending is really good. They've applied the exact same thing to water. So here you can see this is extreme hill water. It looks a little bit more like darkish blue, I would say. And then in the plains biome, it looks a lot more light blue. It's the exact same water source. It's the exact same water item, but as it flows from one biome into another, it very subtly changes color. And this is something you'll see, again, especially in the oceans, where you can see that, again, there's like slow blends of color from warm to cold ocean, etc. And just as, again, for the fun comparison, because why not? Let's jump out of our water here and go on to the other version. Just quick show, here's what it looks like on the Bedrock version, or the current Bedrock water. As you can see, exact same patch of water. Instead of distinctions where there's, different stuff blending and different light sources, it's just, oh, it's blue. And to make this, again, to really show this comparison its best, in my opinion, let's again show both versions. Let's try and look in the same direction at the same kind of angle, and let's try and head both forwards at the same time. Okay, so as you can see, we're going at different speeds right now, but my point being is you can see how the water here is just much less visible, but also much less just appealing. Like, is there any reason to want to go down there right now? Not really, but on the left here, oh, that looks kind of cool. There's some sea kelp over there, there's some animals down there, we can see some of the depth in the water where there's caves and stuff, and again, even though some of that is other features, the water is what allows that to be done, and that's why I think the water is one of the most fundamental changes in this update. And let's show you some of the other fun things about it, because like I said, water changes in every single biome. You saw, you can see some deep ocean, or like some kind of shallow ocean, you see some river, you see some warm ocean, cold ocean, kind of water right there. But let's show you some of the wacky colors that you haven't probably seen from gameplay before, because again, like I said, it changes. The water, will change in every single biome in some way, or most biomes, I should say, about 90%, according to Minecraft developer who put them in, Tanner Pearson. But you can see how every biome has its very own, slightly different take on water, and there's quite a few fascinating ones I just had to show off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk over to said biome, and I'm going to try and do that my best. So here we can see this is a spruce biome, this is a taiga biome, as it's actually called, and the grass in this has always looked different, the trees always look different. They've got a distinct feel to the biome, but the water has always felt exactly the same. Well, now they've actually changed that quite a bit. So the water, instead of looking kind of lame and kind of looking like exactly the same, has a very much darker color, which in my opinion matches it perfectly. Like I don't know how long it would have taken them to actually by hand make all these decisions, but quite some time I'd have to imagine. So here is a little pool of water in the spruce biome, and what we're going to do is we're going to show you side by side how it looks now versus how it looked before, which you're going to see like is pretty much the same in terms of just visual appearance. So it's like, oh yeah, we can see on the left there, much more visible, much more blue and aquatic feeling versus just like, oh, now there's just a pool filled with some blue liquid, which I guess must be water. But also, once you jump into it, you can see how, like, even with very little depth difference, you can see there's a distinct difference in the feel of, we're not in the exact same spot there. There's a distinct difference in the feel of what it's like to be underwater. And sometimes, like in this case, it actually benefits you to be in the old version versus the new one. But over time, that difference will always kind of subside. And yeah, there is now more water vision at some point available. I think the swamp is the one exception to that, because you just barely see anything in swamps right now. But again, that's kind of like that's a key part of it, because swamps are meant to be murky. So I'm going to switch back again to show you just the version on the left here. Because I'm sure you get the basic point at this point that like, oh yeah, I'm sure you get the point that like, yeah, the water really is much better now than it was before. But to show you some more amazing examples, because I've gone from biome to biome, checking out all the different kind of types, and it's shocking just how much of a huge change it can make, and in some cases just how amazing this water could even create possibilities in terms of creative builds and stuff. Because look at this mushroom biome found right here. So again, first of all, on bedrock, mushroom biomes are massive. If you don't know that, look at the size of this one. But also the water is going to change for the mushroom biome, which means it will look like this. It's a much more grey color than we've had before, and it kind of makes sense. Like, oh yeah, so this is water found in the ocean, and this is mushroom water. It's a distinct biome, so it gets a distinct identity with some of the most transparent looking water. I mean, even if you make it like fairly deep, like we'll try and do right now, you can see how, like, yeah, it's got that, like, kind of purplish feel, but it's mostly transparent otherwise, and it fits the mushroom biome quite well. Someone went through and updated pretty much every single biome, and even some of the technical biomes, to give them their own distinct identity feel. And then if we make a quick teleport, teleportation, just for the fun of it, we can go from here, where, as you can see, it's, again, a nice-ish looking place. But if we teleport from here into a swamp biome, or into another set of biomes, you can see how the water changes even more. So here we're going to see, let's teleport one more time. Now we're here in another plains biome. It'll be the same color of water, but let's show you two of my other favorite colors of water. First of all, it's the swamp. So the swamp, I feel like, the best thing, okay, so look, here you can see we're in the water. It looks pretty bad, pretty amazing, right? So what I want to do is I want to teleport myself, so I'm going to have to quickly switch over on the other version. You can enjoy looking at some swamps. So let's do the exact same walk we just did to get in this swamp as we did over there. So here we are on the old version. We're going over the ocean. Oh, it's blue. Oh, I saw a squid. Whoa, there's a squid in the water. Yeah, you basically see nothing with the old water, and then you see more nothing, and then you switch over from biome to the most elusive biome in the game. You're like, oh, maybe the water will be slightly different, and you're like, oh no, it's exactly the same. And inland, outland, next to the land, and the little thing over there, it's exactly the same. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teleport to the same place, to the same thing, so you can see the exact same swamp previously, because swamp water is one of the most, I think, hated things in Bedrock right now. So again, let's jump into it, and as you can see, it looks bad down here, but like, again, full comparison, just so you can see. Here is the swamp on the left, and here is the swamp on the right. We can see basically nothing, and then pretty much everything, versus this. It's a much more smooth flow, smooth transition, and the fact that you can see anything after some time is a big improvement. Yeah, I mean, like, seriously, look at the color of the swamp water on the right. No one is on board with it. No one thinks like, oh yeah, I wish I want to start a house in the swamp so I get the water. But now it actually looks a bit more reasonable, a bit more palatable, and also, as you can see, because the biome blending is much better. Again, look at the edges. It's like a slightly lighter blue, but it works. It looks really good. Versus this, it looks like, again, it looks like it's bleeding blue for some reason. it's just not a great kind of transition right there. So let me just show you a couple more examples, because this is the one for me that really kind of won me over. So again, playing Minecraft on 2 platforms at the same time, kind of tricky, but we'll just do our best here. So okay, let's look at this water right here. It's going from a desert, as you can see on the right there, to a plains biome. So on the right, it's blue, going into blue. On the left, again, you can see the very subtle color change from like I don't know what you call it, like a turquoisey blue into a very much clearer blue. So if you were just swimming underwater, you'd notice that. But you'd notice it very slowly. Or in fact, I'll try and like get in here, shall I? So as you can see, you'll notice it a little bit. I have to like dig myself down. But you can see underwater here, like again, you can notice the difference just a little bit. But then also, if we just look at the desert by itself. So again, here is a desert. And then here on the right is the desert again. It's just blue. Like it's a nice, like the colors blend quite well on the right. But look how much better the oasis kind of feel is on the left here. It just is so much more beautiful. And yeah, that's the thing you're going to notice from time to time again. Every single biome you check out, every biome I've checked out is like, oh yeah, no, that can't be too much better. But it is. Just all the subtle biome changes now have their own water, which is like written into the game in some way. So if we go to the birch forest, for instance, again, look at this. Look how nice the water is here. It kind of looks like the water from the right there. And yeah, that's why I wanted to kind of end today's video by saying that like water looks really amazing in this version. If you check out any biome, you're going to be in for a surprise. And now the water, so you know, this is the update Aquatic. It's mostly focused around the ocean biomes, but water changes all across your Minecraft world. And again, to show you a good example of this, let's go over to a mesa biome. So it's worth mentioning, it took me like 85,000 blocks to find a mesa biome, but I did find one eventually in the same world. Look at the water found right here. It looks kind of similar to the desert biome, but it's again distinctly different. So it's worth mentioning that it's in this update, you're going to want to maybe find a mesa biome just for the water. Like this color right here, it looks very different, right? Like it might be the sort of water you want for your build, or maybe you want the river. Again, the fact that we have the river with its distinct separate water, or maybe you want the swamp water, maybe you want the ocean water, which looks also... Why is sprinting so slow in this version of the sun? Like, what's wrong with me? Why am I sprinting at this speed? But yeah, yeah, you might... Oh, there we go. It's based on momentum, I guess. So you have to, like, sprint jump into it. But yeah, my point with this is that the water has changed, and you're going to want to see all the different types of it. And that almost adds a new exploration factor to all of Minecraft. It's not quite a big enough deal for you to want to go check it out in every biome. But if you're doing stuff with water, it's worth experimenting in each biome. Because, again, especially if you're in creative and you can just fly from one to the other. Because water changes from everywhere to everywhere else. Also, I think we've somehow found, this is the craziest thing, but it's a mesa biome with just one ice spike, or like an iceberg, found in the inside of it. I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess this would be an iceberg. So we found a frozen ocean surrounded on all sides by a mesa biome. I think that's a bit wacky, probably not intentional, but it's a thing that can happen in this next update as well. So if you aren't sold already, maybe this gets you... this is the strangest thing. But yeah, water, the whole world has changed. The world generation hasn't, because you can see from the side-by-side, it's the exact same world in both updates. It just looks much better now, and I wanted to kind of show it off bit by bit and explain that, yeah, you can change... that it will change from biome to biome, how much you can see. Again, look how well we can see underwater here, how much you can see changes, the color of what you can see changes, the color of the water changes in some pretty dramatic ways, and finally, the last point I wanted to mention, because again, I spoke to the developer who put this in about this a little bit, and he said that all of these texture changes, the color to color, that will be customizable per texture pack, or resource pack technically, but every single texture pack can make their own changes. So we're going to see, because now, people who make these things for different worlds, even people who don't make mods, just people who make texture packs, can make astoundingly different water per texture pack. And again, bear in mind, although a lot of texture packs might not be updated for some time, especially the 4J ones and stuff like that, because they have like a whole art team, are going to see some huge updates. So if you like a texture pack in the current Minecraft, but you think water looks a bit bad, then good news, water's improving, and it can improve in texture packs even more, because obviously in regular Minecraft, like, some amount of realism is their goal, but if you're not bothered about that, there'll be some texture packs that do this even better, and that's where I want to sum this up. Also, look at the fog found in the mesa biome. I guess because it's like above some sand or whatever, but this is like one of the worst biomes for seeing it. But, you know, maybe you like the color and you want it anyway. So I hope you did enjoy this video. I hope you enjoyed the look into the new water. Like I said, I think this is one of the biggest changes in the update. That's why I spent all of the day on it. And if you did appreciate and enjoy the video, I'd very much appreciate a like because it helps out the channel a lot. Lets know you do like this sort of thing and you want to see more of these big in-depth dives in the future, I guess, for Minecraft. And besides that, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out the one on the 1.4 beta name because I've seen so many people being like, Toycat, why are you saying 1.4? Did you mistype? No, it is 1.4 now, and you can check that out if you want to learn about what's that all about. And the simple story is like they changed the name. But yeah, for now, hope you enjoyed the video. So I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.